Hi guys, welcome to my channel SAP Lobby. Today we'll discuss on the scope of planning and MRP background job. So this session is in continuation with the last three sessions on the MRP Material Requirement Planning. So if you did not go through that previous sessions, I will give the link in the description. Please go through those sessions. Okay, and if you did not subscribe my channel, please subscribe my channel. So today we'll discuss how to create the scope of planning and what is the use of scope of planning. Then how to create the variant for MRP background job and how to set up the MRP background variant, MRP background job. Okay. So to create the scope of planning, transaction code is OM0E and MDBT to set up the MRP variant for background job, and SM36 to create the MRP background job, and SM37 to monitor the background job. So first we'll discuss about the scope of planning. Scope of planning, like suppose you have the multiple plant and you want to run the MRP at one time for all the plant. Okay, in that case SAP has the functionality of scope of planning. So there you can assign your plants like in sequence. Okay, so that first which plant should take considered by the MRP, then next which plant, so that sequence you can maintain there. So when you run the MRP in MD01 transaction, so in ECC it is MD01, and so in MD01 transaction when you run the MRP with scope of planning, so MRP will consider all the plants. Okay, so if I will show you in this transaction, so if look, this is the transaction for OM0E. So suppose if I say new entry, suppose I will give test scope of planning. Okay, and if I go here, sequence of plant. Okay, so here you can give, suppose first is this one, HCPL. Okay, so here you can give the plant also, like suppose you want to run the some particular MRP area of the plant, also you can give the MRP area. Okay, so then suppose 2, and let me check if any plant is there. Suppose here I'll take something like this plant. Okay, so I can give this plant. Okay, so now this scope of planning test, and I gave this one, and this is the plant we can give. Okay, and save it. Okay, now this scope of planning I can use in the transaction MD01N. So if I go to transaction MD01N, sorry, not MD01N, MD01. So in ECC you will get the this functionality scope of planning in MD01. Okay, so here I can give the scope of planning. Okay, so here I'll choose okay, so here you can give your scope of planning, and then with this scope of planning how to create the background job and how to create variant, we'll check that one. Okay, so here you can choose as per your requirement. You can choose your MRP parameters. Okay, now this is about the scope of planning. Okay, now we'll go to the how to create the variant for the MRP background and how to create the background job. Okay, now I'll go to the transaction MDBT. In MDBT we can create the variant. Okay, suppose I will say new variant. I'll create new variant MRP 1. Okay, and create. Here if you look at, it is asking for scope of planning. Here we can use our scope of planning. Okay, either you can use your scope of planning, or if you have the single plant, you can give your single plant. You will not use scope of planning. So based on the requirement, and then you can choose your parameters. Okay, and so you can choose your parameter as per requirement. Then you can click on attribute. So here you can give your description. Some that is the description of variant. Okay, then you can save it. So now if I go back, see, this is created, variant is created. Okay, now by using this variant we'll create the background job for the MRP. Okay, so program for MRP is RMMRP 000. Okay, now I'll go to the SM36. So I'll give job name. So I'll give the 2. Okay, so I'll give the 2. Then so after once I give the job name, I'll click on step. So here you have to give your program name. So same process also, same steps also you can follow for other programs to create the background job. Okay, so now here I will give the program name for MRP is RMMRP 000. Then I will choose my variant. So that is MRP 1. Okay, then I'll save it. Okay, it is saved. Now once, so now because now it is created, now I'll click on back icon here. Okay, so now if you want to give some email receipt, suppose you want once you run the MRP job, output should send to some Outlook, someone's Outlook. You can give your email receipt. Okay, yeah, you can. So there are two things. This is notification alert. Like suppose your job is cancelled, job is completed, it will be alert to this receipt. Okay, you can give that receipt mail ID here. Okay, here suppose you want to send this spool. Spool means like when you run the MRP background job, it will generate one output. See that output will appear in terms of spool. Okay, so you want to send that output to some receipt, you can give the receipt mail ID here, Outlook mail ID. Okay, or any mail ID, you can give that mail ID here. So like here you can say copy, express, whatever you want, that attribute you can choose it. Okay, then here after that, if we here if I go start condition, suppose you want to schedule for later on, you can go and put the date and time when you want to the run MRP. Suppose if I say to immediately I want to run this job MRP immediately, then I can say immediate start. here, save it. Okay, then I will say save it. So if you say if you see here, it is job MRP job underscore to saved with status released. Okay, now we'll go to the SM37. Now we'll go to the SM37. We'll see the job. So this is my, even we can see with user ID. This is my user ID. Okay, so I think it is, oh, I cancelled that one. So okay, there is some issue with system, that's why it cancelled. So this is the process to set up the background job and to check the background job in the MRP. Okay, so hope you understood how to create the scope of planning, how to what is the use of scope of planning, and how to create the background job. Okay, and please like, share and subscribe my channel to get more and more informative videos.